You ever watch someone, or hey, maybe even yourself, just get stuck on a hamster wheel? Making the exact same mistake again and again? Well, today, we're diving into exactly why that happens. It's this idea called the mirror blindness of low metacognition. I know, it sounds a little academic, but trust me, it's all about a fundamental blind spot that we all really need to know about. This quote right here, this is pretty much our starting point. It gets right to the heart of it. The biggest thing holding us back isn't what we don't know, it's what we can't see about ourselves. It's those errors and flaws that are kind of hiding in plain sight. And that's the core problem we're going to unpack. I mean, we've all wondered this, right? You see a friend, a coworker, maybe some public figure, and they're just stuck in a loop. They keep hitting the same wall, facing the same issue, and they seem totally oblivious to the pattern. So what is actually going on there? Now, your first gut reaction might be to chalk it up to intelligence, right? To think, oh, it's just about IQ. But the real answer, it turns out, is somewhere else entirely. It has nothing to do with raw brain power. It's all about this hidden skill, one that really governs how we learn and how we grow. So that brings us to our first big idea. Let's pull back the curtain on this hidden skill, which is, honestly, it's as simple as this. It's the ability to think about your own thinking. And that skill, it has a name, metacognition. The best way to think about it is like it's your brain's CEO. It's the part of you that can step back from a situation and go, hang on a second, was that the right way to think about this? What were my assumptions here? How could I have tackled that differently? It's basically self-awareness, but for your mind. And what's really fascinating is how this plays out in the real world. You can see it so clearly. So on one side, with high metacognition, when you fail, that's just data. The automatic question is, okay, how can I improve? But on the other side, with low metacognition, failure is somebody else's problem. The question immediately becomes, whose fault is it? One of those paths leads to growth, and the other, well, it's pretty much a dead end. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This pattern of mirror blindness is so common, it actually has a formal name. It's one of the most famous cognitive biases out there, actually. It's this confidence trap that makes people think they're experts when they're really just getting started. It's called the Dunning-Kruger Effect. And here is the absolute key to understanding it. The skills you need to be good at something are the exact same skills you need to recognize how not good you are. So if you're missing those skills, you literally have a blind spot to your own incompetence. You just can't see it. So what you get is this bizarre paradox where the less you know, the more confident you feel. It's like you're so far down the mountain you can't even see the peak, so you just assume you're already near the top. It's this really profound kind of cognitive blindness that just keeps that hamster wheel spinning. Okay, so what does this actually look like in our day-to-day lives? How can you spot it? Let's break down the 6 most common habits that are huge red flags that this might be at play. All right, here's the checklist. Number 1, always blaming other people when things go south. 2, consistently repeating the same mistakes. That's the obvious one. 3, totally rejecting any kind of constructive feedback. 4, a really clear overestimation of their own abilities. 5, they argue to win, not to actually learn anything or get to the right answer. And finally, number 6, they're rigid, just refusing to try new ways of doing things even when the old ones clearly aren't working. Every single one of these is a failure of that internal CEO we talked about, a failure to look inward and fix things. So now that we can kind of recognize these signs, what do we do with this? This is where things get really challenging, but also where this idea becomes incredibly powerful. Because let's be honest, it's super easy to see these traits in other people, isn't it? We can all think of somebody right now who fits this description perfectly. But if you use this knowledge as a weapon to judge other people, you're completely missing the point. In fact, that's a trap in itself. The real value, the whole point really, is to turn that lens around on ourselves. The hardest and most rewarding thing to do is to look for these blind spots in our own lives. To have the guts to ask, okay, where am I overestimating my skill? Where am I shutting down feedback? What mistake am I repeating? That brutally honest conversation with yourself is where all real growth starts. So I'll just leave you with this thought. The goal here isn't to be perfect. I mean, nobody is. The goal is simply to be aware that the mirror can get a little foggy sometimes. We all have blind spots. So the real question is, what's one area where your own reflection might not be as clear as you think it is? What's one blind spot you might be overlooking today?